Hello, and welcome to the screencast on personal devices in a third grade classroom. My name is Abby Harris, and I'll be doing this presentation. First, I wanted to go over, as a teacher, how am I integrating personal devices into my classroom, and are they more of a distraction or a benefit? It's no secret that personal devices are a distraction, and with the growth of social media-based jobs, social media is becoming the #1 consumption of personal devices, as 76% of their time on their phones is taken over by social media, thanks to a great article done by Jen Salhammer, Bennett, and Bauer. But the plus side and the hope is that technology is used for education in some way. The whole 19% as you see above, but it is used. If I can create my lesson plan for my third graders around a smarter way to use social media and personal devices, I would hope to raise the amount of time spent on the phone to be more education-based. Therefore, although there are many distractions, I'd hope that the benefits could overcome those distractions as technology is taking over our curriculum. What I envision for my classroom is a great discussion with my kids so that they can understand how they all have access. The majority of my students have these personal devices, a smartphone, a Kindle, or tablet, and will probably be getting their own soon enough. And I want to relate it back to what we've been doing in class with our previous curriculum about creating our own websites, having a classroom Twitter page, and how we don't focus our whole entire class around these activities, and we are not constantly on these social media bases. We use them as learning tools, we use them to collaborate, and we use them to communicate. But at the end of the day, there's still so much more that we need to learn and understand to be able to create these websites and involvement with others. And with that, I'll send a letter home to the parents, and in class, we will just continue to work on these best practices. Here is an example of the letter home that I would speak out to parents about what we are learning about social media, what great websites they can use for their children that are more education-based, and try and just stay away from social media outlets at an earlier age and support them from not having their own Facebook or Instagram pages until later in life. Overall, according to a really great article by Brian Goodwin, technology lowers discipline issues in the classroom as it keeps the students engaged, supports their technology skills, which we already know is part of their future, and finally, it's cost effective for me as a teacher if the school already provides these devices. Of course, at the young age of 8 or 9, most of my students hopefully won't have phones or smartphones, but it's also not quite an age where I'd want them to bring in their own devices. Therefore, it is dependent on the schools to have them. But I know as it is an intriguing piece of technology, I would hope that it would keep distractions to a low and keeping my discipline to a low as well. By teaching my students proper blogging and writing, hopefully this will not affect their writing skills, which is a negative that Brian Goodwin pointed out about technology as well. But overall, this would allow my students to have access with communication to each other outside of the classroom. And my biggest hope as a teacher is that this continues into their later years of life and made an impact with their parents on keeping social media to a medium and helping them understand technology in a positive and educational way. Finally, here are all the references that I used. Thank you so much for listening.